You've been feeling it, haven't you? That heavy, unexplainable weight in the air, like the atmosphere itself is holding its breath. For the last few days, perhaps the last few weeks, your sleep has been fractured. You wake up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. with your heart racing, not out of fear, but out of a sudden jolting sense of urgency. You sit up in the darkness, and the silence of the room feels electric. You feel as though you are waiting for a train that is already screaming down the tracks toward you. Your body is vibrating at a frequency you can't quite name, and your mind is suddenly rejecting the mundane details of your old life. The conversations you used to have feel hollow. The people you used to bond with now feel like strangers, speaking a language you've outgrown. If you are hearing these words right now, it is because the spiritual lockout has ended. The gates have swung open. God has just unlocked your destiny, and the physical symptoms you are experiencing are the seismic tremors of your old world collapsing to make way for the new. Notice the sudden pressure in your temples. Notice the way your vision seems to shift, as if you are seeing the world in a higher resolution than those around you. You are walking through the grocery store, through your workplace, or through your own home, and you feel like a ghost in a machine. You see the patterns. You see the loops people are stuck in. You see the manipulation, the ego, and the masks. And for the first time, you aren't angry about it. You are simply finished with it. This is the exhaustion of the soul. You've been tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. You've been carrying a burden that wasn't yours to bear, acting as the emotional sponge for a family that didn't appreciate you and a society that tried to dim your light. But look closely at what has happened in the last 72 hours. Have you noticed the strange coincidences? The repeating numbers appearing on every clock and receipt? The sudden, random memories of your childhood surfacing out of nowhere? This is not your mind wandering. This is your DNA responding to a divine command. The keys have been turned. The black sheep is being summoned to the head of the table. You have spent years in the wilderness, wondering why you were cast out, why you were misunderstood, and why every door you tried to knock on seemed to be bolted from the inside. You blamed yourself. You thought you were broken. You thought your sensitivity was a curse that would eventually consume you. I am here to tell you that the lock was never a punishment. It was a protection. God locked your destiny away because if you had stepped into this power any sooner, the wolves in your life would have devoured your inheritance. He waited until you were strong enough to stand alone. He waited until you were so tired of the matrix that you would never seek to return to it. Now the atmosphere is shifting. That heavy feeling is actually the weight of glory settling upon your shoulders. Your intuition is screaming because it knows the drought is over. You are standing on the threshold of a massive, irreversible pivot. The world sees a person who is quiet, perhaps a bit isolated and seemingly stuck. But the spirit sees a giant waking up from a long, forced slumber. Your destiny isn't just starting, it has been unlocked, and the floodgates are beginning to groan under the pressure of the blessings that are about to pour into your life. The headaches are the expansion of your crown chakra. Loneliness is the purification of your circle. The restlessness is the engine of your soul revving up for a journey that will take you further than you ever dreamed possible. You aren't losing your mind, you are finding your throne. Why is this happening now? Why did the heavens seem silent for years, only to suddenly explode with this undeniable intensity? You must understand the mechanics of the divine law. In the spiritual realm, there is a period known as the halt of the chosen. It is a season where God places a seal over your life, making you invisible to certain opportunities and even certain people. You felt stuck, but you were actually in an incubation chamber. The reason your destiny was locked is that you were carrying generational residue, vibrational frequencies inherited from your ancestors that were incompatible with the throne you are destined to occupy. The spiritual cause of your current discomfort is a process called frequency matching. The universe is an echo chamber. It cannot give you what you want. It can only give you what you are. For years, you were vibrating at the frequency of a survivor. You were used to the struggle, used to the fight, and used to being the underdog. But God is moving you from the role of the survivor to the role of the sovereign. This shift requires a total recalibration of your energetic signature. This is why you felt a sudden, violent rejection of anything fake. You can no longer tolerate small talk, processed foods, or shallow relationships because your spirit is being tuned to the frequency of truth. Think of a radio. If you want to hear a specific station, you must turn the dial to the exact numerical value. For the past few months, the divine hand has been turning your dial. The static you've been hearing, the confusion, the mental fog, the feeling of being out of sync, is simply the noise between the stations. You are leaving the frequency of the broken branch and entering the frequency of the fruitful bough. The lock was placed on your destiny because you were still trying to bring people into your future who were assigned to your history. God saw the Judas in your circle long before you did. He saw the envy hidden behind the smiles of your friends. He saw the way your family members were subconsciously feeding off your light while giving nothing in return. If he had unlocked your destiny while you were still connected to those leeches, they would have drained your blessing before you could even taste it. The lock was a divine quarantine. You had to be isolated so that the trauma bonds could be severed. Every time you felt rejected by a group, every time a door slammed in your face, it was the universe protecting the sanctity of your calling. You were being stripped of the slave mentality that kept you playing small. The spiritual cause of your current awakening is that the purification is complete. You have passed the test of the wilderness. You stayed faithful when you were lonely. You kept your heart soft when the world tried to make it hard. Now the legalities of the spirit have changed. You have paid the karmic debt of your bloodline. You are the one who broke the cycle of poverty, the cycle of addiction, and the cycle of silence. Because you stood your ground in the dark, you have been granted the keys to the light. The spiritual atmosphere has shifted because the prince of this world no longer has a legal claim on your mind. The hooks have been pulled out. The cords have been cut. You are now experiencing the opening of the seals. This is why your dreams are becoming prophetic. This is why you can feel people's intentions before they even speak. You are being resold, infused with a higher consciousness that is alien to the matrix. God didn't just unlock a door, He unlocked your perception. You are finally seeing the world as it truly is. And more importantly, you are seeing yourself as He sees you, an unstoppable force of divine will. Because you have shifted, the world around you is reacting in a state of high alert panic. You must understand that the matrix, this system of control, these narcissistic personalities, these spiritual vampires, operates on the premise that you will stay asleep. For years, they relied on your empathy. They relied on your willingness to over-explain yourself, to apologize for things you didn't do, and to dim your light so they wouldn't feel insecure. But now that God has unlocked your destiny, the enemy is sensing a catastrophic loss of control. If you feel a sudden surge of hostility from people who used to be neutral toward you, do not be confused. You are witnessing a spiritual defensive mechanism. The narcissists in your life, whether they are in your family, your workplace, or your past, have a psychic radar for your power. Even before you fully realize your destiny is unlocked, They feel the change in the air. They feel the withdrawal of your energy. To them, your silence feels like a threat. Your new boundaries feel like an attack. This is why you may have noticed a sudden increase in the smear campaigns or the random check-ins from people who haven't spoken to you in years. They are fishing. They are trying to see if the old hooks still work. They are terrified because they realize that the person they used to be able to manipulate no longer exists. You have become unhackable. The enemy's reaction is one of desperation. Notice the way the atmosphere becomes tense when you walk into a room. You aren't doing anything. You are simply existing in your new frequency. This is the light bearer effect. Your presence is acting as a spiritual mirror, forcing everyone around you to see their own shadows, their own unhealed wounds, and their own lies. Those who are committed to their delusions will hate you for this. They will call you arrogant, difficult, or changed. They are right, you have changed. You have moved from a vibration of submission to a vibration of authority. They are reacting to the fact that they can no longer find a hook in your soul. In the spiritual realm, the archons and the principalities that govern the matrix are scrambling. When a chosen one unlocks their destiny, it creates a glitch in the system. Your awakening is contagious. By standing in your truth, you are inadvertently giving others the permission to do the same. And that is the ultimate nightmare for those who profit from human suffering and ignorance. This is why you might experience technical glitches, sudden financial hiccups, or bizarre arguments over nothing. These are distraction tactics designed to lower your vibration. The enemy wants you to drop your sword and engage in a petty mud fight. They want you to descend back into the 3D drama because they know they cannot defeat you in the 5D realm of spirit. Do not bite the bait. Their anger is proof of your promotion. Their mockery is a sign of their fear. When they try to trigger you, they are actually confirming that you are now a threat to their kingdom of shadows. You have moved from being a target to being a terror to the darkness. They see the seal of God on your forehead. They see the legion of angels standing behind you, even if you can't see them yet. The narcissist's rage is nothing more than the rattling of a cage that no longer holds you. The more they scramble to bring you down, the more you must realize how high you have already risen. You are no longer playing defense. The universe has moved you into the offensive position. Every lie they tell about you is being transformed by the divine into a stepping stone for your elevation. They are working for your benefit now, even if they don't know it. Their opposition is the very wind beneath your wings. What is the ultimate truth of this unlocking? It is not merely a change in your luck. It is a fulfillment of a cosmic contract written before the foundations of the world. You must understand the law of the remnant. In every generation, there are individuals who are encoded with a specific frequency designed to trigger a shift in the collective consciousness. You are a part of this divine remnant. For eons, the Matrix has functioned on a closed loop of trauma, lack, and separation. But God's plan, the great prophecy for your life, is that you are a system buster. You were born into a specific family, a specific bloodline, and a specific set of hardships because your soul was the only one strong enough to act as a spiritual fuse. The deep truth is that your life has been a series of strategic failures. Every time you thought you were losing, the universe was actually deconstructing the false versions of you. The theological reality of your destiny is that you are moving from the lunar path to the solar path. Most people live on the lunar path. They reflect the light of others, they follow the phases of the crowd, and they are governed by the tides of their emotions. But you have transitioned to the solar path. You are now a source of light. You provide the gravity. You are the center of your own universe. This is why the old laws of cause and effect seem to work differently for you now. Have you noticed? When you try to do things the normal way, the way the world does them, it fails. But when you surrender and lean into your intuition, the impossible happens effortlessly. This is the law of divine ease that comes with an unlocked destiny. The lock was actually your own ego trying to fit into a world that was too small for you. God had to allow you to hit a wall so that you would stop looking outward and start looking inward. The prophecy over your life states that you will possess the gates of your enemies. This doesn't mean you will physically fight them. It means you will possess the very things they tried to keep from you: peace, abundance, and influence. The universe is currently reconfiguring its resources to support your mission. Because you have chosen the path of integrity, the hidden manna, the resources of the kingdom, is being released to you. You are witnessing the great restoration. In the spiritual realm, there is a ledger. Every tear you cried in secret, every time you were slandered for doing the right thing, and every moment of loneliness has been recorded as a credit in your spiritual account. The unlocking of your destiny is the moment the interest is paid out. The divine law of compensation states that for every measure of pain you endured for the sake of your calling, you must receive a double portion of power. This is why your breakthrough will seem sudden to onlookers, but to you it will feel like a long overdue arrival. The truth is, you are no longer a citizen of the Matrix. You are an ambassador of the Most High. You are operating under diplomatic immunity. This is why the arrows of the enemy don't land like they used to. This is why the recessions and the chaos of the world don't seem to touch your inner peace. You are being sustained by a different economy. God has unlocked your destiny because the world has reached a saturation point of darkness, and your light is required to balance the scales. You aren't just being blessed for your own sake. You are being positioned as a city on a hill. You are the evidence that the divine is real. You are proof that the underdog wins. The script of your life has been rewritten by the finger of God, and the final chapters are titled Vindication, Victory, and Unstoppable Vision. Now that the gates have swung wide, you must step through them. This is not a passive observation. This is an active participation in your own rising. To anchor this unlocked destiny into your physical reality, you must first commit to the practice of divine silence. From this moment forward, stop arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop trying to convince the blind that you are shining. Your energy is now your most precious currency. Do not spend it on those who have a zero balance in your life. To activate this new season, you must ground yourself. Stand on the earth, feel the stability of the ground beneath you, and realize that just as the earth does not move for the wind, you shall no longer move for the opinions of men. You are now in the execution phase. This means you must act on the whispers. When that sudden idea hits you at noon, or that urge to call a specific person arises, do not hesitate. Your intuition is now the direct hotline to the divine architect. The lock is gone, but the door only stays open for those who walk through it. Take one practical step today that aligns with the person you are becoming, not the person you were forced to be. Clean your space, update your vision, and carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the check has already been signed. Let us now seal this energy in a moment of divine activation. If you are able, place your hand over your heart to connect with the rhythm of your soul. Divine Creator, source of all light and truth, I stand here as a witness to the unlocking of this chosen one's destiny. I decree and declare that every chain of generational trauma is now shattered into 1,000 pieces. Every word of a curse, every whisper of slander, and every shadow of doubt sent against them is now transmuted into fuel for their fire. We speak to the atmosphere and command it to align with their new frequency. We call forth the hidden riches from the secret places. We command the doors of opportunity to fly open, not by human effort, but by divine decree. To the one listening, I activate your spiritual sight. I activate your discernment. I seal your mind against the gaslighting of the enemy and the fatigue of the journey. You are no longer the victim of your history. You are the architect of your future. The spirit of lack is evicted. The spirit of heaviness is lifted. In its place, we welcome the spirit of authority, the spirit of sound mind, and the spirit of abundant life. You are protected. You are seen. You are vindicated. The drought is over, and the rain of favor is falling upon every area of your life. It is done. It is sealed. It is so. If you receive this message, if you feel the fire of this truth burning in your chest, I want you to claim it right now. Type, "My destiny is unlocked" in the comments to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. This is your amen. This is your signature on the contract of your new life. Do not let this moment pass without claiming your inheritance. Subscribe to this frequency to stay aligned with the tribe of the chosen. Share this with one other soul who is struggling in the dark. For as you pour out, the universe pours back into you. Go forth in power. Walk in your authority. The world has been waiting for you to wake up, and now the wait is over. You are the chosen one, and your time is not coming. Your time is here.